what we're fighting against is not the witnesses, it's the wicked actions of the governing body where they violate human rights. Howdy heretics, I'm Goatlike personality from Norway. I used to be a Jehovah Witness, but I'm no longer a Jehovah Witness. I'm a human rights activist. And I'll give you some inside information about what's happening in Norway. Because when I started talking about hashtag all religions must respect human rights, people were kind of baffled. They thought, if you believe in something invisible, you have freedom of religion and you can do whatever you want. And my talking point was, if I can't give money to Al-Qaeda, the Norwegian government cannot give money to the Watchtower. Because as long as Watchtower violate human rights and you give them money, you are participating in violation of human rights. Just like I can't give money to Al-Qaeda. And little by little people started listening. And I can't take credit for everything. Norway is a democracy full of very nice, hardworking politicians. So, but what happened is that we changed the law. So all religions must respect human rights, and Jehovah Witnesses are therefore no longer a religion. They can change their wicked ways and get their government funding back. And if they do, I will be the first to congratulate them. Because I'm not working against the Jehovah Witnesses. I can't remove the cult, but maybe I can improve the cult. It would not be the first time wicked people change their wicked ways. Anyway, so what happened in Norway is now spreading. So this the Danish kingdom is looking into this, and the Swedish kingdom is looking into this. And in Sweden, I'm a national Swede, but they have now a form you have to fill in before you ask for government funding. And the only way for Jehovah Witnesses to get money in Sweden in the future is to lie on a government form, which sadly I think they will do. But things are moving in the right direction. And religious people, they can change. There's been stories about cults that turn into religions. I remember it was a story, Watchtower was gloating, and that was not fair, but they were gloating. You can find it in the literature. There was some kind of doomsday religion in Africa, where they were preaching a date, like 1975, something like that. I don't know the year, but Armageddon didn't come. And this guy who said that he was the leader of this religion, he went up on stage and said, "I'm sorry, I was wrong." And he dissolved the congregation, and people were surprised, but I think the literature said that one guy, he climbed up on the roof and took all the sheet metal. So they literally dissolved the congregation. And Watchtower were gloating about this and said that some of those people were truth seekers, so they joined the Jehovah Witnesses instead. Which is kind of bad taste telling that story, because Watchtower had been wrong about 1874, 1878, 1912, 1914, 1915, 1916, 1919, 1920, 1923, 1925, 1944, 1975, 1994, 2000 actually, if you're going to be picky. So and they never admit anything. But anyway, some religions can change, like the people in Africa. And I think Jehovah Witnesses, they're going through some growth pain now, and they can either try to go more culty or try to go mainstream. And I hope they go mainstream. I don't care about the mythology, but I care about the people. And if they want to be Jehovah Witnesses, they should. Now to the funny part. When you leave a cult, you want to find something to do that give you purpose in life, and I thought about human rights and things like that, obviously. But then I did this thought experiment. What if Jehovah Witnesses would turn into a nice religion? I would obviously not go back because I don't believe in the mythology. But would I appreciate them turning into a nice religion? And I felt this resistance. No, because I need someone to save in order for me to feel good. It's like some people, they have an animal in a cage because they feel good because this animal need me. Well, you're the one keeping it in a cage. At one point, you should really release the animal, move forward. And if you're an activist, your heart should be in a place that you should release the witnesses, if they want to be witnesses. If they want to believe in mythology, they should. What we're fighting against is not the witnesses, it's the wicked actions of the governing body where they violate human rights. But let's make fun of them, because this is not only happening now in Norway, it's also in Sweden and in Denmark and in the Czech Republic. So God's channel on earth, the governing body, told the witnesses to write letters to the government. And then they should also pray. So how does this work? Imagine you have Jehovah tell Jesus to pick out a faithful and discreet slave. And the faithful discreet slave tell the witnesses, food in proper time, aka what they should pray about. And they pray to Jehovah, that tell Jesus what they should pray about. And he tells the governing body, and the governing body tells the witnesses, and the witnesses pray to Jehovah. It's just a feedback loop for Jehovah or the governing body. So if God needs external validation, he'll get it. Jehovah, Jehovah, you're so great, save us from the persecution that we wouldn't have without you. If we would just act like normal people and be good citizens of the country, we would not be persecuted. But I wonder sometimes if there's many God, maybe Jehovah is the retarded God that needs external validation. So he tells people how to pray, how to praise him, and then when he get the praise, he feel good about himself and say, well, maybe I'll listen to you, maybe I won't. I think, I'm not an atheist, I think God might be, there's a shitload of gods, and God is kind of the retarded kid that need, I don't know, maybe it's offensive to call a retarded God retarded. He's, I don't know, a special God. Jehovah is a special God. Anyway, we will have a Supreme Court case in Oslo in February, and we want to move on and make, just move on, heal, move on. So we were talking about putting up an evening show. There's some ex-Jehovah Witness comedians, me including them, just put up a show and a dinner. And then I got this message from an angry activist, and I will not say his name, from a foreign country in Europe. And he said, you can't do this because on Friday evening I'm here to support the victims. Well, first of all, I'm a victim. But we move on in different ways. And he said, you cannot have a comedy, it's inappropriate, and if you do, I will shame you publicly. And he was probably one of the most abusive ex-Jehovah Witnesses I ever met, and he assaulted me verbally, and well, it's my fault, but I let it go into me. It was really hard what he said, accused me of these things, and also backstabbing. Because the thing is, what Jehovah Witness lobby had been working on is to get politicians to say, if Jehovah Witnesses lose, then the law is too strict and we will change it. So they're trying to put in this, like when you play chess, you try to put the opponent in a situation that whatever he do, you will win. So what Witnesses got some politicians with Christian affiliations to say that if Jehovah Witnesses win, we have to change the legislation. So then, if that would happen, and Jehovah Witnesses lose, they win anyway. So that's why we want to have this party. We wanted to show that, ex-cult members from different religions, we're part of society. We have votes, just as the Christian fringe minority in Norway. And we will stand up for paragraph 6, hashtag all religions must, no matter what. And also we will have fun. But this guy said, no, you cannot do that. I will shame you because it's inappropriate. And this is the time where I plan to support the victim. So he will come. I'm not going to say his name because it's not nice. But I'm going to say Belgium, so no one will confuse him with other people coming. That would not be fair. The people come from Denmark and Finland and different countries. So none of them. But the guy from Belgium, he said, in a very rude way, that I will shame you in public if you do this. And it reminds me of the people that keep an animal in a box, in a cage, so I can I can feel good about myself because I'm helping the animal. If the animal is released from the cage, I can no longer feel good about myself. So obviously, if he want to come and take up space in a courtroom where everyone speaks Norwegian, so he can support the victims while abusing other victims, well, he should do that. Maybe someone wants to talk to him. We're different. But some people want to move on with humor and laughter and friendship and get, a perspective of what happened to us that includes humor, and we're allowed to do that. So it's kind of my bad. I let his abuse hurt me for a week. It was very hard. Anyway, I'm not going to mention his name. But now the funny thing is, imagine if Jehovah Witnesses would turn into a nice religion. Wouldn't that be the best thing? I don't think it will happen, but I'm an optimist. And if we spread this hashtag all religions must all over Europe, I think the next step would be Poland. So maybe I'll move to Poland, find myself a goat farm there. Some of you have seen that we don't have dental in Norway. We have free healthcare, but not dental. I can get a sex change, but not dental. So I told them I am a lesbian woman trapped in a male's body, but I identify as a male with beautiful teeth. Maybe they will fall for that. After all, I am a lying apostate, scheming. That's what we do. So hope to see you in Norway, and hope to see you at exJehovah Witness Comedy Festival if we manage to arrange that, in support of the Norwegian legislation. All religions must respect human rights, because no battle is won, ever. Just focus on the good stuff, and we can build a better world for the next generation and for the Jehovah Witnesses. So, see you in paradise, and thanks to my patrons.